For the love of suds, despite its name, the upcoming Charleston Wine and Food Festival will be paying homage to the almighty brew. Let's welcome April Dove. She is founder of the commUNITY Brew, which will be featured at this year's event. It's so wonderful to have you.
Hi, it was nice to be here as well.
We're going to call you a beerista. What was the first beer you ever tried?
First beer I ever tried that was craft was somewhere in Germany. I went to Germany for about 2 weeks just to visit a friend, and I got to try all the craft beer there. In hindsight, I wish I would have really paid more attention to it, because now I didn't realize I was going to be on this path in 2012, in 2022. But in 2012, I went to Germany and tried all these amazingly wonderful craft beers.
They know beer there, don't they?
Oh man,
yeah.
You drink beer before you go to bed. Right. You drink beer all the time. My beer journey kind of started in, drinking Blue Moon at first, and then kind of going into sours, and then working my way to saisons, and I kind of just progressed.
And you know your stuff. You even went to beer school. What is? Yeah. I've never heard of beer school.
Yeah, so there's a lot of schools that have beer. They're called fermentation science programs. And some schools that are just strictly for beer, like the Cyble Technical College, they are in Chicago. And then this school that I went to was in Middlebury, Vermont. It's called the American Brewers Guild. And they're well known, and they've had a lot of successful people come through their brewery. Garrett Oliver taught us one day. We've had people from Lawson's Brewery come and teach us. I mean, very successful people. So it's been a really cool ride. I started it in January of 2020 and finished in 2020, June of 2020.
What is it about beer that you love so much that has fascinated you to stick to it all of these years and to make it part of your, not just a hobby, but a living?
Yeah. Beer brings people together. And I don't think you've ever been in a brewery tap room where someone's crying or someone's angry or anything like that. Everyone's just happy and everybody's drinking and they're having a good time. And there's something to say about a brewery full of people and just kind of sitting there and people watching and seeing families and seeing new loves and old loves and, groups of friends. It's just something nostalgic about it.
They do say, you can go and cry in your beer, but you never do see it, do you? You always see it in a happy circumstance. You are a certified home brewer, but you also say that you created beer to attract the palates of your own community. What does that mean, and what does that taste like? Yeah,
so I crafted this beer because I was asked by Chris of Holy City, the head brewer and owner, how do I get more Black people into my brewery? And I said, okay, well, that sounds interesting. I'm like, I don't really know the answer, but let me think on it. And it came to me, it was like, oh, we don't brew anything to their palates. There's nothing nostalgic about the beer that you brew, the 36 beers you brew that are nostalgic to the people of my community. There's nothing in there that reminds them of a good time or anything like that. So when I brewed the commUNITY, it was bringing back the block parties and the family cookouts and family gatherings is what I wanted.
And what does it taste like? Because you say your community is not too into the sours, not too into the IPAs. So what does it look like? What does it taste like?
Well, this one particularly tastes like a Heineken craft beer. So it's really dry. It's got a corny aroma, a floral nose. It's corn on the mouth, really heavy, but super dry. So it kind of coats your palate and then kind of goes.
And is that the one that's sitting right by your side there? Show us the can if you would.
Yeah, so this is the commUNITY. The logo was done by Alex Morales, who's from Charleston. She did the painting on Edmonds O's wall. You'll see the commUNITY logo here, and then if you actually buy a can, which I hope you do, if you look close into the Unity, you'll see little people inside the Unity drinking. On the symbols on the outside of the can, you'll see them on kind of random areas. They're Indica symbols, so they represent strong words like peace, health, faith.
So this culmination, this fruition of your passion, your love, your study of beer, all in that can right now that people can go out, they can buy, they can taste and enjoy, and they can come and talk to you. Crafted for Culture at the Charleston Wine and Food Festival. This is on Thursday, March 3rd at 4 o'clock. Holy City Brewing, that's on Aragon Avenue in North Charleston. So make sure you go out there and meet with April. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on this newly released beer.
Thank you.
We're back after this.